Hi there, this is Ranjit, and in this video we're going to review this Blaupunkt SBW01 budget soundbar. And I purchased this one from Flipkart, and as you can see the current pricing is around 7,000 rupees, but I purchased this one on their sales and I got it for 6,000 rupees. And we'll find out in this video, is this any good? Let me give you an overview what comes inside the box. First you get this subwoofer that you get, and it's a passive subwoofer. We'll come back to the subwoofer later on. It's actually pretty light, looks big, but again it's pretty light in weight. And then obviously we have the soundbar, and we also get some cables like this basic AV cable, and also a 3.5mm cable that you can use to attach even smartphones, and if you have older television you'll use that. And we also get a remote controller, and as you can see it's completely plasticky, and yes, build quality not that great, but a lot of buttons. We'll come back to the remote later on. This is the actual sound bar that we get, and let me actually bring a tape and give you an idea how much is the length. And it's about 32 inches in length, that's about 2.5 feet, and in about height it's about 3 inches, and also width it's about 3 inches. So that's regarding this sound bar. And if you go towards the back, here we have all the ports. We also have mounting brackets. If you want to mount it on the wall you can do that. And there are 3 actually input ports on it. The first one is line in, second is optical in, and third is the HDMI ARC. And again I'll talk about the HDMI ARC implementation because that's pretty buggy on this one. And the subwoofer gets connected via this, and it's a passive subwoofer, guys, so you can't use it with any third-party subwoofer. You have to use the subwoofer that is supplied. So that's what it is regarding the soundbar. Now moving to the remote controller that is supplied, as you can see it's completely plastic. In terms of build quality it's not that great, as you can see, complete cheap plastic feeling it gives you, but in terms of buttons, as you can see, it has quite a few buttons, and you can control the entire soundbar with this. You can adjust the treble, you can adjust the bass, and also it accepts true AAA batteries, and the batteries are actually supplied in the box. In fact, I got 2 pair for some reason, I don't know why, but this is the remote, and you can control the entire unit with this supplied remote, and it's light to hold. So let me play some soundtracks, and I've connected it via the HDMI ARC on my television. Again, I'm going to mute it. So guys, let's just break it down between the pros and cons, what I liked about this one and what are the things that are actually disappointing. Let's start with the cons first. And the first thing is that HDMI ARC connection that you guys have heard. It's simply unacceptable whenever you sound is playing. It just makes that buzzing sound. So it's impractical to actually use this with a HDMI ARC connection. So you have to use it with analog connections like this, or with the Bluetooth. With those it does not have a problem. Yes, I did test it with Bluetooth connection. Even I paired it with my smartphone and it worked fine. Also, another thing that I've noticed is that, as I mentioned earlier, the remote control is fully functional and it has a lot of buttons in it, so you can control the entire unit with this one. But sometimes I've noticed that the remote also actually stops functioning for 10-15 seconds and again just starts working. So again, the implementation is also a bit flaky with the remote controller. Because of the subwoofer, we do have a lot of bass on this one, but again the bass is slightly on the boomy side, so you have to be careful with this one. And you can adjust the bass with the remote controller, but even when I adjusted, sometimes the bass is a little bit boomy, but again at this price point I won't complain that much. Now moving to the things that I actually liked with this one, and that is the sound for the price. The sound for the price is surprisingly actually really good. Initial impressions when I switched it on, and even after using it for a couple of hours, I would say for the price, if you're getting it on sale for 6,000 rupees, the sound is spectacular, I would say. And because of the subwoofer, yes, you do even get some bass to it. I would say in terms of sound, it's even when I was lowering the treble volumes, you can adjust the treble notes with the this one, but the treble notes are a lot more pronounced on on this one, I would say. But again, in terms of sound effect, you are not getting that sound. But again, I won't complain too much. For 6,000 rupees or even for 7,000 rupees, the sound quality is good. I like that the soundbar actually looks really cool because of that piano finish. Definitely it looks a lot more premium than the price that it commands. So in that aspect, it's good. And also, if you're getting on sale, it's a good product. Overall, I would say it's a nice product. But again, the implementation of HDMI ARC, which is actually pretty important, I would say. If you're going for that, then simply don't go for this soundbar because that is very flaky. But if you plan to use old type connectors like a AV cable or a 3.5mm headphone jack using the line in, then you can use this. And also the Bluetooth functionality actually works. I played with that and it works flawlessly. In fact, you can also control the music, for example, change tracks, etc. with the remote if you connect it via Bluetooth. So overall, I would say in terms of sound, I would say if I'm not looking at the bugs that it has, for the price of about 7,000 rupees, I will rate it as 9 out of 10. But again, as the HDMI implementation is very buggy on this one, and that's the reason, guys, these guys at Flipkart are selling it at such a throwaway price. It's because of the bad implementation of the HDMI ARC. And overall, if I have to rate it, I would rate it 6 out of 10. So again, I would say if you're not looking for the HDMI ARC implementation you won't be using, then you can certainly have a look at this. At the price of 7,000 rupees for the sound it produces, it's actually a good buy. But again, beware of the HDMI ARC functionality. If you want that HDMI ARC functionality, the JBL one that I reviewed about last month ago, yes, it doesn't have a subwoofer, but again, it doesn't have any problems like the one this one is having with the HDMI ARC connection. Again, guys, that's it for now for this video. I'll also be reviewing a premium soundbar that I purchased recently, a Polk one, that's for about 24 or 25,000. Stay tuned for that. Hopefully I'll be finishing that. I'm testing that one, and hopefully in a week or so I'll be posting its review. So again, guys, if you're still not subscribed to my YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. This is Ranjit and I hope to see you in my next video. Take care, guys.